Welcome everybody to another episode of the CLAUMAN show.
Yes.
We know you are doing well, but we still ask, how are you doing? Yeah, we hope you are doing well by God's grace. And today is a very serious topic. Many a times you might find yourself somewhere where you'll be needed. You might find somebody in danger. You yourself might be in danger. Or somebody very close to you. How do you solve this danger? And let's take this scenario. You are walking by the roadside, and then right in front of you, or you are in the house, right in front of you, maybe your brother faints, or your auntie faints, your mother faints, your father faints. What are you going to do? Will you cry and just shout and be running around in the house?
And watch them die.
Or you watch them die, or you just be calling Uncle Kwesi now that theater.
Whilst you could do something to her.
Yeah, whilst you could do something to her. Or whilst you're in the kitchen cooking, you get a big cut. I know some people are afraid of blood. So what do you do in this? Or you meet your mom has cut her fingers, or somebody, a child is playing, the child has cut the fingers, or the child has fainted. You are at the workplace, your boss has fainted, your subordinate has fainted. Somebody under you has fainted.
Gotten themselves wounded.
Yeah. So what will you do in such a situation? Somebody has drowned. What are you going to do in such a situation? When you find yourself there, you are an angel as at that time. And there's a lot you can do to help the situation so that the person doesn't die. When people get immediate help, they don't die. If they don't get immediate help, definitely they are going to die. So today we are going to talk about first aid. In case you find yourself in any situation where first aid is needed, what you should do to help the situation. Mind you, this is not to say that when you do this, the person is healed completely, or the person will survive.
These are just basic steps, to help you in case of any emergency, even before the ambulance or the doctors or nurses show up. So basically what we are teaching today is basic steps of first aid in case of any emergency, wherever you may find yourself.
And first aid is not just a box that's placed somewhere where it's they have the inscription written on it, first aid. So you might think if anything happens, you just go to the box and everything is inside there. There are certain skills you need to learn in addition to that box that's there. When you open the box and you see a scissors, you see a gauze, you see a bandage, you see a painkiller, pain reliever, iodine, and all those things. What do you use these things for? You should know what to do at what time. So this is why we are here today. So let's go for our commercial break. We'll be right back. We have a commercial break.
First, let's discuss the ABCs of first aid.
Now, before that, let's create this scenario. We have just got into a place where maybe we are going to see someone. When we got there, we saw her lying lifeless. What can we do?
We're saying first things first. So we are going to discuss about the ABCs of first aid. So A stands for airway. The B stands for breathing. The C stands for circulation. Yes. So in case of any emergency situation, the first priority that you have to look out for is to check if the person's airway is clear, which will enable them to breathe properly. So in case they are unconscious, if they are unconscious, what you can do is to tilt their head back, and lift their chin upwards to create the opening in their airway for proper breathing. So that's the first thing you have to ensure. That's your first priority in case any person has fainted or lost consciousness.
And I believe even before that, you should check whether the person is wearing any tight clothes. Whether if you're about tie, the person is wearing a tie, or women, wearing a corset, tight corset.
In our modern world, most of us are into bodycon clothes, tight clothes. So just in case of anything of that sort, please help by, you know, letting the airway be clear,
Yeah.
by loosening their ties, or even sometimes their buttons can be very tight, you know, to their neck.
And cut the corset. I watched a video, a woman at a wedding, it's true. A woman at a wedding. I think her corset was
And
very
she couldn't
tight.
breathe.
She couldn't breathe. And she
But
fainted.
I call saw one video
yeah.
on IG like that. The lady got married. She could barely even lift herself up to go on stage. During the reception, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, why tight? So cut the corset, destroy it. The person will thank you when the person wakes up. Yeah. So, and after that, after you've ensured that the airways are clear, then you should check for breathing, whether the person is breathing or not. That's the B in it. So if the person is not breathing, there is one way that has been tried and tested that can help resuscitate the person. That is the CPR. I know we've all heard of it, CPR. Yeah, it's cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Yeah, so you do this exercise. It's an exercise. Yeah, an exercise. 30 chest compressions.
Yeah, so then you do that 30 times.
Yeah, and then after every 30 chest compression, you do 2 breathing exercises. So where some of them will do mouth to mouth, some you will use some other things just to ensure that air is going inside the person's mouth. So 30 and 2, so 32, 32, 32, 30. Keep that in your mouth. And we'll show how CPR is done right after this is done. So yeah, that's the CPR going on. Check it out. Yeah.
We'll need to start with chest compressions. Kneel down beside the casualty's chest. Place one hand center on the chest and place the heel of your other hand on top and interlock your fingers to lift them off the ribs. Lean over the casualty with your arms straight and press down on the chest to 5 to 6 centimeters. Release the pressure. Allow the chest to come back up without removing your hands from the chest. Repeat this to give 30 chest compressions at a rate of 100 to 120 beats per minute. This is quite fast. To help you keep pace, you can sing Staying Alive. After 30 chest compressions, you need to give rescue breaths. If you have not been trained or unwilling or unable to give rescue breaths, continue with chest compressions only until help arrives or the casualty becomes responsive. To give rescue breaths, make sure the airway is open by tilting the head back with one hand on the forehead and 2 fingers under the chin. Pinch the soft part of the nose and allow their mouth to fall open. Take a deep breath and seal your mouth around theirs. Blow steadily into their mouth, giving a rescue breath in about 1 second. Their chest should rise. Remove your mouth from theirs and watch their chest fall. Give them 2 rescue breaths like this. Continue to alternate 30 chest compressions and 2 rescue breaths. If someone can help you perform CPR, you can swap over every 1 to 2 minutes with minimal interruption to chest compressions. If there's someone there who can help, if they have brought you an AED, ask them to turn it on and follow the instructions while you continue CPR. Continue CPR until emergency help arrives and takes over. The casualty starts to show signs of becoming responsive. They start breathing normally or opening their eyes, or you become too exhausted to continue. If they do start breathing normally, again, place them in the recovery position, monitor them, and prepare to start CPR again if necessary. So remember, if you come across an adult who is unresponsive and not breathing normally, call for help. Ask the caller to call 999 or 112 for emergency help and ask them to bring an AED. If you're on your own, make the call yourself, ideally by using a mobile on speakerphone so that you can begin CPR. Give 30 chest compressions, followed by 2 rescue breaths. Continue giving 30 compressions and 2 rescue breaths until help arrives or they become responsive.
As we said, A is airways, B is breathing, and then C is circulation. Now, the next thing you have to look out for, everybody, I believe everybody should have these things in their homes. In case of any emergency, at your workplace, in case of any emergency, you need a first aid kit where you have,
this is ours.
yeah, you have some medical supplies in them. Now, these supplies come in handy when somebody has a minor medical issue. Then before you take the person to a hospital or you get a good help. Now, these things are not to substitute the call for help. Please don't say you have para in your house, so somebody has fainted and you are giving the person just para. We beg you. After you've given the person para, carry the person to the hospital. So some of the things you need in the first aid kit are...
so you need to have, let me say, wipes, or like
sterile wipes.
Sterile wipes, so some gauze, you know, like there are different types. You need some scissors as well, another scissors here, and then
some pain relievers.
Paracetamol. We have some aspirin as well, and then we have bandage gauze as well. We have gauze pad, some plasters, you know, for bigger wounds. These are for, you know, smaller wounds. And then we also have some iodine swab stick, and then ointment. You may also need some other, you know, medicines.
Rubbing alcohol and all this basic stuff.
And also maybe some instant stomach pain relief.
Jane. You try to lick it.
There's this one. It's very good. It's a liquid form. It's white in nature. It's so good. I've forgotten the name. I think we have some at home.
Milk of magnesium.
I think so. Okay, that one also works as well.
But what we know is Jane.
Every
child likes Jane. Everybody likes
Jane. We also have some plasters, you know, for bandaging, sealing, your bandages and all that. So very, very important. So these are some basic stuff you need in your first aid kit. And also, please bear in mind to kindly check regularly your first aid kits, whether at your workplace, at home, in your vehicles. Kindly check them. Why? To check if they are expired, so you can replace them as often as you can.
So, and also notice that whilst you are doing all these, you should know how to use these things. So when you get a minor cut or any form of cut, whether it's big, large, small, whenever you get the cut or somebody has the cut, the first thing you have to do is to stop the bleeding. That's the most important thing. Before you can stop the bleeding, you have to clean the wound. So that is where
you need antiseptics. But first and foremost, if you are close to water and soap, can you use water and soap to wash off the wound?
So look for water and soap.
You know, the germs, and also prevent less infection.
So you wash the wound nicely, and then you use the antiseptic to further clean it. That is where, if you don't have access to water and soap, you can use rubbing alcohol.
So that is when you can use your towelettes, you can use wipes. Now, we ladies have, you know, wipes. We can even use those ones because they also help take off germs from your face.
Baby wipes and all those ones.
And even the ones for cleaning as well.
And even perfume. Very, very potent because it has alcohol in it.
Exactly. So this means that germs are equally effective, right?
So when you have maybe a gin or ukeke or
on your wound.
Snap.
It helps, you know.
All these things. It can kill the germs because of the alcohol.
Infection. And please bear in mind, don't think that only big wounds can attract infections to them. Even smaller or minor cuts also attract, you know, infections. So kindly be careful with that.
So after that, you just wrap it with a gauze or a clean bandage. So in order to hold the vessels, the blood vessels, and then stop the bleeding. As I told you, the most important thing you are looking out for here is to stop the bleeding so that the person doesn't bleed out. So you use a tight, if you don't have a bandage around you, and you can get access to any tight thing, you just tight cloth You tie it on
so
the wound.
So you can use this on it first. It helps also soak the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can go in with the, I think this would be the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can also use your gauze as well.
Yeah.
They really
so
help.
Make sure you hold it tightly so that it doesn't push the blood out frequently, so that the person doesn't lose blood. That's the most important thing. Stop the bleeding. After that, you rush the person to the hospital so that they can treat the wound properly. It's only the medical personnel that can really treat the wound properly. Don't go and say, now I know first aid to beside a careful to crowd the bandage vessel.
That is why
they
it's
need to say that.
Aid.
Yeah.
It's to aid, the doctors and the nurses do the proper.
Yeah. You hold the situation so that the professionals can
take over.
Yeah. That's
you
so
don't
true.
have the advanced equipment.
Yeah. Some of the wounds need to be stitched and all that. So you don't have those things around you.
Knowing how to stitch properly can also be a problem because if you are not able to do it properly, it goes a long way to even bring a lot of
infections. That's so true.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things some of the skills that you need. These are the basic skills that you need to have around you in your first aid knowledge or your first aid knowledge. When I was a kid, I loved to play football.
Okay.
And I only played football when I went to school because in the house, you dare not. And this is normal for a lot of kids that grew up in the early, let's say late 70s to 90s and the 2000s.
As if he's that good.
Hey, I'm not a small boy. I mean, your parents will not want you to play football.
Yeah.
So if you get hurt and you come to the house, you are dead. So when you go out to play and you get hurt,
you don't like to pump food now. That is why you're running away to bed.
Fufu pounding has not been an issue, but as a boy, as a man, you need to play football. Yeah. So when you get hurt, onaimo bukra, you dare not walk or limp to the house. You have to walk well. So once I went to play football and they had broken my leg and I couldn't walk well. So I started holding the walls. I said, Coconut and I said, who's so the world?
What can you possibly be looking for? And no, really.
Because you dare not. But I was living with my sister then. She saw that looked like my knee was swollen. Yeah. So what come and then I said, oh, now, But she gave me first aid. What did she do? So she got ice. Now, I know some of us know this. During those times, too, almost every home, you had this ointment. Now it's aboniki. Aboniki is the most popular one. Those days, Rob. Yeah, Rob. Those times it was Rob. Yeah. This thing was painful. So they held my leg. They asked if I cried. The warning was, if you cry, we'll beat you. If you don't cry, just imagine, your knee is broken. And they had put ice on it. Charlie, I don't even remember the pain. But that was the warning. But so what I realized was she put the ice on it, cooled down a little, then she applied the ointment. Yeah. So let the person rest their knees nicely. When maybe the knee is swollen, a body part is swollen. Let's say the knee is swollen or a body part is swollen. Let the person rest their knees. And then you apply the ice. Then when the ice will numb that area, so that when you are pressing the wound, it will be able to So you just press wherever the pain is or wherever the swelling is. You apply compression, some form of compression there, and then like a rabbi. It's quite painful, so please be mindful. If your son goes to do that, don't do what my sister did to you. Don't tell him, if you cry, I'll beat you.
No, but in natural sense, myself, my dad didn't want us to, go out often. Not like he didn't want us at all. So whenever he's not around, I also go out to play. And one time I went to, we had this ropes with, hanged on our mango tree to do seesaw, and it was so nice. And I came off. Guys, thankfully for me, I was wearing jeans, so it had covered the wound. But the wound is still there. Probably if I had shown it to them, maybe the scar would have gone, But because I was afraid because of all these things, I hid it. So parents, don't let us, in as much as it's good for us to be strict on our children, they shouldn't be overboard.
Yeah, encourage them to open up, else they might be so disturbed.
And also, there's this thing a lot of people do lately, and it's so uncalled for as human beings. In case there's any accident on our road, when traveling, even in our communities, please, first and foremost, let's pay attention to the people who are dying in the vehicles. When two cars, when there's a crash, maybe cars collide, whatever, please save them first. And when saving them, maybe there's someone lying down.
Be mindful that if, in case you meet an accident and there's no, things are not, the cars have not mangled to the point that there are a lot of heavy things on the person. Please, please be mindful of how you carry these people out. Sometimes their spine and all that. So be mindful. When you get there, assess the situation. If you can call an ambulance, that should be the first thing. First, call an ambulance before you take a video for TikTok.
If the car is not burning. If it is, burning or something bad, maybe you
see some smoke or
so
try to get the
take
people
them out.
And
please, I'm saying this because I don't know why people do that. I've seen a video online where there was an accident. People were videoing instead of saving the people. Why? So I was thinking about it, and I was thinking maybe when there's TV stations come around, the media personals, maybe they give them something,
they pay them
to take the video. If that is the case, it's not necessary to still video the people in the process with their pain and everything. Help them first, because even this during news or even they are being used for documentaries, they cover their faces. They don't even use the people's face. It's the maybe the cars, how they've crashed, how they've, I don't know how to put it. When there's a
the point of distraction,
and maybe the road and maybe something around it, but they don't even show the people. They cover their faces. So please save the people first, and then after, if you want to video, you are free to do so. So lastly, what we would want to tell you is that in case you find yourself in such a situation, please calm down, because when you panic, you only make matters worse. Just calm yourself down, breathe in and out, assess the situation, and then remember what you have learned here, or what you already know, from class or any other, first aid course you have attended. Just calm yourself down and then make good use of the knowledge that you've learned. Because panicking will just make matters worse.
And also, make sure you teach your children in the house how to handle some of these basic issues, so that when they are faced with a challenge like that, they will not just... I watched a video where it was a 5-year-old and an 8-month-old baby in the house. And then the baby got hurt. What can the 5-year-old do to help the baby sister? So some of these things, teach your children early so that they'll be able to learn. It's been an awesome session with you, and we know that this video has come a long way to, or will go a long way to help you. Very, very, very much. Thank you, and yes, please, we are not cutting this out of the video. Please, our next stage plays on the 16th of June.
It's so important.
And we've titled this Mama. You love to watch how we've blended emotions and comedy. I mean, it's just fitting perfectly. And this is a masterpiece that we have written, and you enjoy it. It has all the fun, all the drama, all the comedy, and everything.
It's classic as well.
The tickets goes for a cool 100 CDs per. Dial *789 *3 *504# to purchase a ticket, or you can call 0240599410, or
055
Yeah,
Thank you.
and get so 16th June at the National Theatre, the exhibition hall.
See you guys there.
We'll see you there.
My name is Judith Claudia Hager.
And I'm still the Emmanuel Abbey.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, you should know that. All right, see ya. Bye bye.